There we go. That's that. As I said, back into the skin tone. And we'll make a point of going around the edges of these wrist protectors. Making sure that everywhere that I need the flesh tone has a good coverage, because we're going to be going over with a wash in a moment and we don't want to miss any. That's the flesh tone. I now need to go back into the paint colour we used for the clothing and give this area another going over. Okay, I think that is all I really want to do for the time being in regards to base coating. Most of it can be done using the wash. So let's get the wash sorted out. Now for the skin tone, we're going to do Agrax Earthshade. As I said, I really want a really dark skin tone. It's not going to have a dark skin tone, or the oogit isn't going to show up. The shadow isn't going to show up if I use Reikland Flesh Shade, because it's a lot paler than this colour. So that's all we're doing for the skin tone. So it needs to be a dark tone, which is why I've gone for this colour rather than the Reikland Flesh Shade. So that's that bit done. What we're going to do now is using the Nuln Oil, which is that colour. Basically a black wash. I'm going to run that over here. Because again I want this a darker colour. And I noticed as well in the video I did for Athena that I tried to highlight the her spear with the same colour I did the base coat of the spear. It's lightened it a little bit, but not as much as I wanted to do, and I couldn't work out why it wasn't working. I thought I was just putting a dark red on, but I wasn't. I was putting a mix, the mix on that I used. So I'm going to do these little bits here first before I do anything else, and then while these are drying a little, I'm trying to give the skin tone a little time to dry properly. I'm going to go back to Athena just for a short period of time. There we are. Here she is again. And what I'm going to do with Athena, I'm going to use a little bit of corn red and put some of that on the palette. So we'll use a little bit of that and we'll go there along the spear. And as you can see, we're not going right to the very end of the spear, we're just letting the colour trail off. Bring the top as well. And that hopefully will make it look that little bit better. But I'll see when it dries. But now what I'm going to do is, using some of that corn red, and into that I'm going to add Stormhost Silver. In fact, they should go on. They shouldn't go on here. They should go on a dry palette. So I'll use my usual little dry palette. I'll do this properly this time. So we'll get a little bit of the Stormhost Silver, and into that we'll put the corn red now. Over here, the corn red. There we go. So just going to wash that brush out and get our dry brush. Load the brush up, dry it off, and then because we're not going over this part anytime soon, or in fact we're not going to go over this at all, I'm just going to give it a dry brush with this mixture. I want this as a heavy dry brush. I want it going over the back as well as the front, but not too much. And the detail needs to be picked out, and hopefully that's done the trick. I hope you can see that. I'm also going to go over a little bit on the back. I'm not going too far with this on the back because you're not going to see most of it, but I just want to get the look of what I'm trying to get from that. I'm also going to go over the metal part here and here. and I'll do that again later on, possibly for those others areas. I don't want to do it now because I'm hoping the wash has dried off enough now that I can do the material. It's not too bad now. It's not fully dry, but it's dry enough. I think it's not going to. Oops! It's not going to bleed as much together. So back into the Nuln Oil once more, and put this over on the material. I'm going to give it time to dry. Obviously there's going to be a bit of a transition, more than likely, or it could be the end of the video, I don't know, but I'm going to give it time to dry, and when we come back we can carry on with highlighting. But so far this is what we have for Hades. Okay, we're back, and as you can see, that little bit, I'm saying as you can see, I've not showed it yet, that little bit that I said should be skin, I've actually gone and covered up once more in the skin tone, so hopefully we're right. So let's get on with this. What do we do first? Highlight the skin, I think. So what we need is our damp brush, back into the skin tone, and pick out all the raised areas like we usually do when we're highlighting skin. It's a simple step, but it's one that needs to be done. So as you can see, I'm avoiding doing where the eyebrows are. Doing the cheekbones there. Well, so I'm doing the cheekbone, I'm just any raised lines. We'll get covering with this. Yeah. And next, we'll go that little bit lower onto his chest and pick out all the areas here that needs doing. And again, we're just doing the raised areas, and because it's a very thin paint, it's going on quite watery. so it will blend and show subtle hints of colour changes. As we go on, and again, as always, all we want to do is just, as I say, pick out the raised areas. If you don't feel steady enough to be able to pick them out just with the brush, using the brush of the pen, use the edge of the brush. Like so. That will give you a much broader working area. I'll show you on here. Hope you can see this. If I run paint there and down the fingers using the edge of the brush, picking out each finger. You're not picking out the recesses. This part you do carefully, because although there are some raised areas there, they're not terribly deep. So I'm just going to just touch on the hand there. And that will do fine. That's the skin tone with its first highlight. Next, we're going to add paler colour to the hair. That paler colour, when I can put my hand on it, I don't know what I've done with all my colours. Here we are, Ashen Grey. That will do. We don't want much of this, and I'm going to be putting a great deal on my palette. That will do. At least I don't think I need a lot of it. I may decide to use it for something else as well as just highlighting the hair. I don't know yet, but we'll see how we go. So we get some of that on our palette, on our brush, sorry, and once again, using the edge of the brush. We don't need a great deal of this because, as you may already gather, because I use the brush in a very, well, not the brush, because I used the paint in a very watery state, it went on almost like a wash. So it has left quite a bit of the raised areas paler than the recesses, but I just want to pick out a few bits here and there, and that will do fine. That's all we need it for. In fact, while we've got this, I did say we might use it again for something. We're going to mix in some of the Doombull Brown with that. Just to change the shade of the Doombull Brown, and we'll use it for his little pouch here. You know what, I think I've just mixed the colour that we use for the skin tone. That's handy. That's a slightly different shade, but very, very close. See what happens when you don't try. Okay, so that is the little pouch or waste bag done there. Next, using the corn red, which we put out earlier. I'm going to go over these areas of what we can loosely describe as clothes. The rags he's wearing, basically. And going around all of the, I'm going down all of the creases and all these little tears and holes that is in. And make sure that we go around all them. And try our best to keep our hand steady when we're doing some of these areas, because there's a lot of detail. We do not want to be painting the wrong area. So that is what we're doing here, and I've shown you quite a bit of this now, so I think what we might do, just to save a little bit of time, because it is quite fiddly this step, is I will shut up, put the camera on fast forward as it were, and we will skim through and show you this bit in high speed. But all I'm doing for the rest of it is what I'm doing here, so you're not going to miss anything at all. You're just going to see it done quite a bit quicker. Okay, so I think we've got really everything we need to do now on the areas that we want to be red on his clothing over there. Now just a few areas to just touch up slightly. Okay, so that's that bit. Next